Hi, welcome to the National Creative Stories Online News, and today we have a very special guest with us, a curator making a difference in this role in Southeast Asia, and it's none other than Miss Vanini with me. Miss Vanini, please tell us more about your latest concepts. And now that I heard that you have actually got back from a series of, of concepts that you have built across Europe.
Okay, I just completed a project called Intimate Moments. I realized it through the support of the Singapore International Foundation, and I was invited to curate a program in response to a current exhibition called Dance Creations, Asia's Mythological Past and Living Present for the World Museum in Vienna. And together with the curator there, she's more like a really classic curator. I responded to the theme and brought a program that sort of featured the current thinking in contemporary dance using performance and film as a medium. So I had a weekend program there and invited someone from, like a film from Cambodia, from Singapore, primarily featuring artists from Indonesia, Malaysia, and in Singapore, and a Filipino dancer who's based in Germany.
And how long did that take you to draw those inspiration from those artists, and that would enhance the experience for the audience?
I wouldn't say there isn't really. It's more like analyzing like what they wanted. This one is for a specific exhibition, so the terms of reference are also very specific. So if they're doing like an exhibition on like Asian dance, then my natural impulse would be to respond to that as an Asian curator of what my understanding is of what's happening on the ground, what's happening in the dance scene, contemporary dance scene, whether from how practitioners from the Asian contemporary dance evolve from like traditional or classical dance practice, and see what other medias are possible to transport that. Like for instance, like it's very difficult to transport like live performers, a dance company, because it costs a lot of money. And if you're working within limited budget, then you have to really think carefully what is the best possible way. And in this case, what I did last May for the World Museum in Vienna was really a concise, really short films, which I thought really reflected the thinking. I'm inviting people who really matter, artists who are really active in the scene, and presenting them there and explaining why I chose those films.
Now, what is the definition of a curator today? In your own perspective, what does it take to be a great curator?
Oh, that is like I don't know if I'm the person to answer that question, because I am a curator. I think it's just like really being able to bring to life, bring extra life towards creativity. This is probably for me a great curator. It goes beyond the white cube, it goes beyond the theater. There are several types of curators. You have curators for performing arts, you have curators for the gallery, for the big museum, for contemporary art, for maybe ethnographic works. There are several types of curators, but for me what's essential is really to bringing back to life, or bringing to life, like larger than life, like the works or creativity or the way of thinking of people. And that's the way I approach the program that I was asked to curate in Vienna. Should I continue? Okay. In Berlin, for instance, like this Intimate Moments was on a different take, so I did exactly what I have been doing in the past 8 years or so, which is like to bring different types of artists together. So from Singapore, I brought artists like Elizabeth De Rosa and Shelley Quick of Theatre Strays. They are like theater makers from Singapore, and then I brought them alongside a great photographer, Chow Chi Yong. He's a classical photographer, more in a surrealistic approach, and then I had a video maker, video artist, Yuri Klau, then Andrei Veschler, who's a video performance artist, and Sherman Ong, who's a filmmaker. So normally these people would not have the opportunity maybe to work together closely and have the time together, but especially in Singapore, where the life is really so hectic, where artists have to survive and have day jobs, you know, full time. They work full time as lecturers or on other things. And in Berlin, we had like at least like about 8 to 9 days together to work together to build on what I called like a breathing exhibition. What is a breathing exhibition? I did not know until I implemented it 2 weeks ago. It just revealed itself to me and to the artist. The idea was that like we come with like ready-made works from Singapore that can be altered according to the energy of the city, according to how the city functions. So yeah, Singapore and Berlin, it's a little bit different. In Singapore, there's a little bit more structure, and in Berlin, you have to be able to respond to the impulse of the city. And this is what I challenge the artists who join me in Germany.
Now, speaking about the inspiration behind, what does it take to actually, develop a program at a scale that you've done over in Germany? Did you actually spend a good number of hours and days and months to think about it?
It took me, I think, a little bit over than a year, like, to develop it. It started with the idea. It's called Intimate Moments because it started with this very tiny idea, like a very intimate exhibition series that I curated for the Fullerton Hotel. And the Fullerton at that time asked me, and this was like April of 2012. We are now in June 2013. And as I was developing the series, because they were asking me to respond to certain seasons of the city, I thought like, okay, the city is also the inspiration. Singapore is also inspiration in doing this. And both cities, Singapore and Berlin, are both my homes in a way. So I use that as an inspiration, how I can make these two cities meet through the artist or through this artistic encounter. Yeah, so it took me, to answer the question, it took me more than 12 months and really working closely with each artist, visiting them, going through them, like really experience things with them.
What are the key lessons that you've learned from this experience? Would there be one lesson that you could share?
Okay. Maybe allowing oneself to be surprised is a good lesson. It might sound ironic because again, the arts, you think that things are unpredictable, and in this case, I really surrendered like a lot because we had very limited budget, and because of this limitation, the project grew bigger.
And when it grew bigger, what happens?
It becomes, it manifests exactly like, be careful what you write, you know. I wrote it as a breathing exhibition, that it will be like the artist will like develop the works in response to the city, and this is exactly what I saw happening right before my eyes. When you say breathing exhibition, you know, you get what you wish for. It's like really doom, 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 doom. like that, so... What
was the response over in Berlin? Were the people in Germany and all walks of life were surprised by the talent that Singapore has to showcase?
Yes, I think so, because like there is this prevalent image that like Singapore is very clean, it's very sterile, and you don't expect to see artists like this who are really like, you know, really willing to push like the envelope, like really going beyond their comfort zone and not afraid like to experiment and to do things beyond what they already know.
So,
and you can feel that. You can feel that.
What will be the most frightening experience for you as a curator during the Berlin exhibition? Was it the artist not showing up or the art?
No, there was no frightening experience. It's more like, you know, we didn't have enough money. That's it. Nothing more.
So what's next for you?
At the moment, like I'm preparing like I'm not, just more like preparing for like bigger projects with private companies.
So can our viewers follow up more information in what you're doing? Do you have a Facebook or a website?
Yeah, we have a website. It's called www.bellarminopartners.com.
Ah, great. So, folks, please follow up with her on her website and for more information. And for artists who like to showcase their work with her, please contact her on her website once again. And once more, I'm Robin Steinberg. Thank you for joining me here at the National Prince Choice.